Today on Jer and Jeff Eat New West, we are checking out Dan's Legacy Diner. Today, we're going to be sitting down with Andrew, who is running the diner side of Dan's Legacy. There's lots of parts to it. He's going to get into what everything is and whatnot. Kind of cool fact for people who've been in New West for a long time, you're probably going to recognize him. He used to run Wild Rice, which, man, I miss Wild Rice.
Yeah.
Too. So it's sad to not have them here, but he is a part of this kitchen set up here and helping at-risk youth, and it's a pretty cool spot.
Hi, I'm Andrew Wong. I'm the program manager for Dan's Legacy, and we run a series of job skills training for at-risk youth. So I've been with Dan's Legacy since the start of the job skills training programs. After selling my restaurant, I joined them in the following year, right away, 2019. Dan's Legacy. It's started as a family foundation. Dan, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but Dan was a cook himself. His father was a chef, so he was following in his father's footsteps. He unfortunately went into a life of addiction, living rough, and it didn't turn out so well for him. The family made the foundation. It did some really great work, and our group took it over 2015, and then the family's blessing was, yep, run with it, do with it, because they were tired, didn't want to do it anymore. Father moved back to England, and the rest is history. Dan's Legacy is a foundation that works with at-risk youth. We support them heavily with therapy, and then we also try to provide job skills training. We see to their food security by way of hamper program, and we delve a little bit into health and wellness by running a fitness program over at the Canada Games Pool. So what we're doing is working with youth and just building mental health, improving mental health, building confidence. Our youth are between the ages of 19 and 25. It is a sweet spot in that it is aging out of care ages. So by the time of 25, a lot of the younger focused government assistance, financially speaking, are become no longer available, because the assumption is you're an adult now, go do it.
The ministries.
Right? So we young people come to us to say, like, hey, you know what, I can't quite figure out how to do it, can I get a hand? And this works really well. So you can learn to cook, to get yourself into a commercial kitchen. You can learn to work the retail situation, or you can learn how to be a swamper and move boxes around and sort a bunch of things, get stuff from A to B. What goes into deciding what's on the menu? We get our food donations daily, so every morning starts with, what do we get? And then sometimes we get things like sacks and sacks of potatoes, because Save-On Foods felt like those potatoes are getting on the green side. So all you have to do is peel them, and now you're golden, right? Take away the 10% and use the other 90%. What else came along with those potatoes? A whole bunch of onions, or maybe leeks. We got potato and leek soup now. And is there any bacon on the side of there? Do we have a few packs of bacon? Let's add bacon to it. And this is how the process kind of works. We'll see what we have. It's all coming in by donation, and we'll just have our chef team work with the young people that are learning with that chef team how to express creativity and how to make it, how to handle this food safely, how to make it tasty, and how to repeat that process. You just get better and better over repetition.
What's your favorite soup?
I really like tomato basil.
Simple. And that's kind of the way you'd make a soup at home, right? What do I have in the fridge?
What do I have in the fridge? how do I make this? At the very least, the young people that come through our doors and work with us and give it a try, they become better cooks for themselves and those around them. Maybe they don't go work at White Spot, and that's okay.
Yeah.
How did they learn to fend better for themselves as far as being able to make a grocery plan, make a cooking plan, reduce their trips to Tim Hortons because that's X amount of dollars each time, and that's not a sustainable meal plan. In the takeout window here, we got there's two hot items every day, and then there's a bank load of frozen items that you take home and reheat. We'll do some fun stuff like cookies, banana bread, muffins as well too. That's fun. Every now and then we'll pop up a sandwich, and sometimes we'll even do like a whole entree. Like last week we did a pork chop, mashed potato, spring greens, and people went bonkers. We make a pretty mean mac and cheese, but we make a pretty mean shepherd's pie as well. We've done a really nice butter chicken, and there's nothing we won't make.
It depends on ingredients.
And that's part of the concept too, right? Like just expose these young people to different styles of food. And the only way to do it is to make the dish. Sometimes the only way to make the dish well is to make it terrible the first time. Not a single youth has not gone into the workforce that has wanted to. So there has to be the genuine want. But we've seen 6 dozen youths in the programs over my time here anyways, and some go on to higher education, like let it be Langara or VCC culinary, and that's a nice outcome. Some go into other industries, which is a great income. After 3 months they look at me and say like, I can't stand this cooking, I'm gonna go be a plumber. Perfect. Because you're doing something to put food on the table and to pay rent. We had a young fellow come in, do the cook program with us, was like adamant about like wanting to be a chef eventually in his life because he didn't know much anything else. Did the program with us, struggled with his mental health, stuck with the therapy the whole time. Came every day with diligence, and it's a year and a half later down the road, and he and his cousin have opened their own restaurant in Mexico. He's a silent partner, but every Monday they Zoom and talk over logistics. What he does in the Lower Mainland is he holds 2 jobs while he's here, and he's a server, bartender now. At a place, and he's cooking on the weekends at another place. So it's kind of neat, and you kind of get a good feeling when he comes in on day 1 with his like looking down at the ground, can't make eye contact, and just doesn't know. He's like a fish out of water, and then eventually the layers of the onion kind of unpeel, and it's like, wow, you are really quite talented with a knife in a natural sense. You have a pretty good palate. Like you know the difference between bitter and sour and sweet, and you seem to have a natural ability for that. Oh, really? Right? Okay, great. Why don't you make the soup today? Are you sure? Yeah. What's the worst could happen? I think we take money from wherever it comes, so there is indeed government funding involved. There is a lot coming from the private sector. And people that just come to the Dan's Diner and buy a $4.50 soup are contributing to
$4.50 for a 1 liter.
$4.50 for a hot soup in your hand.
Hot soup in your hand. Okay,
yeah. Just about a 14 and a half ounce portion. So we have an outreach team that goes out to most of the youth centers and puts our information out. We have a website where people find their way to us as well too, and a very easy self-referral process. Basically just type in your name and contact, and say like, hey, I would like help with this. So it's a pretty low barrier.
That's Dan's Legacy. We did try some of the food. I had the apple vegetarian stew. You had the
It's right there on the sign. Pork and root vegetable stew with bacon and green onion on top. It was amazing. You can't beat the value at this place if you're in the neighborhood or make a trek. He said some people pick up, they'll come and stock up for the freezer.
Yeah, I was looking
The
at all the
1 liter
pre-made
jugs.
frozen food, and that makes meal planning super easy.
And it's not just soups. They've got stews. There's a couple curries in there right now. Mac and cheese. They've got some
Yeah, and
awesome
they
things.
made a little sample of sort of like a pasta salad dish. That was really tasty too. But more importantly than the food being tasty, it's something pretty cool they're doing here. So I think it'd be a great idea to get involved, even if you just want to support them by going and stocking up on food for the week. And they're in kind of a industrial area, so you got to decide to go to it. You're not going to discover these guys by accident, but hopefully you give them a try. They're pretty cool. And if you have any experiences with Dan's Legacy, if you've been eating there or you've got a favorite dish, let us know, and we'll see you next time.